It is my favorite day of the year, the Thursday of March Madness. We finally made it to March Madness. I'm so happy about it. But we do have to get the weekly recap out before all the madness starts. So yeah, without further ado, here we go. We already know the Wizards are the worst team in basketball, so let's just start off by showing a clip that basically shows their season as a whole.
Maruti working on Landale, comes back out of the lane. Thought about the J, goes inside, knocked away by Van Fleet, back to him, goes,
good, another air bank. There's like 5 air banks.
What is going on out there?
Air ball.
These aren't just air banks.
The Pistons almost beat the Heat, but due to bad shot selection by Cade Cunningham, they ended up losing to a Bam buzzer beater. What were we doing, Cade? Shot clock turned off, tie game. You're supposed to shoot the ball at the very, very last second. However, the more I think about it, the more I believe it was him intentionally selling the game so the Pistons could get a good pick in the upcoming draft to provide him some help. Also, Asar Thompson is out for the season, unfortunately. The Hornets did not do anything notable this week, so we will not be talking about them in this video. When the games don't matter, expect DeAndre Ayton to go off like he did this week. Desmond Bane is back. It didn't change much, but at least the Grizzlies are watchable again. In other news, when I said Gigi Jackson was LeBron James 2.0 in the offseason, I was joking, but he has dominated the Warriors like LeBron did in Cleveland, so maybe there's a chance my delusion isn't as delusional as it may seem. Victor Wembanyama in an overtime win over the Nets. 33 points, 15 rebounds, 7 assists, and 7 blocks on 14 of 26 shooting. That's insane. Imagine saying someone else should have been the number 1 overall pick. Couldn't be me. I actually don't think I did. Actually, that's a good question. Gary Trent Jr. finally has arrived to the 2024 NBA season. The past few weeks he has been cooking, especially compared to what he was doing earlier in the year. Cam Thomas is back getting buckets again now that he is allowed to play freely, but it does not mean the Nets are winning more games. DeAndre Hunter had an excellent start to the week as he posted 27 on the Jazz and 20 on the Clippers. Unfortunately, it did not carry over to the Lakers game where he and the Hawks looked like a college team, really trying to get their inner March Madness going. Kobe White, the NBA leader in minutes, got injured last week, and because of that, he missed every game this week. Unfortunate to see. Hopefully it does not affect him drastically. That way he can conclude this amazing season on a high note. But in other news, Io in his absence dropped 34-9 in a win against the Wizards and had 23-10 on the Blazers. The Rockets are clicking on all cylinders right now. Amen Thompson is showing us what a lot of us were hoping for from him. Jalen Green has looked like an athletic Bradley Beal, and everyone else is hooping as well. I honestly am wondering how much they regret the Van Vliet signing given the fact Amen Thompson looks so good now, and the team isn't seriously going to compete for at least 2 more years. If they could just let Amen play the point next to Green, Brooks, JSJ, and Sengun, it would be very scary. But they got Van Vliet at an untradeable price, so let's hope it can all mesh together. Tyrese Maxey had 3 straight games with exactly 30 points this week, but the one game he didn't drop 30 was ironically against my defensively challenged Suns. Gotta love basketball for that reason, among many, many others. Anthony Davis got hurt in the Warriors game. His eye was jacked up. That was crazy to see. But even crazier, during that game, we saw a lot of controversy. I'm just going to say it. At some point, you have to just call New York and get the call from them, because there is no reason it should take as long as it did for a review. The broadcast announcers and everyone watching the game could easily make the call after watching the replay twice. Something needs to change. Steph Curry came back to start the week and he dropped 31, 6, and 5 on 12 of 24 shooting in a massive win for the Warriors. And to add to that, Kuminga and Clay each went for 23 plus against the Lakers, all in the same game, which is a very, very good sign. Pascal Siakam is finally showing his potential as a Pacer, as he probably had his best week as a Pacer this week, so shout out to him. Hopefully it sustains. I'm convinced that if the Magic had any floor spacing at all, that Paolo would be averaging at least 27 points a game. He has no room to work, yet he still gets buckets. If the Magic could consistently score from the outside, it would be over because nobody is stopping Paolo going downhill one-on-one. With the amount of time that both Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell have missed this season, is it crazy to say that Jared Allen has been the Cavs' most consistent player and even their best player at points? Because no matter what, seems like he's been killing on both ends of the floor, despite who's playing, while making sure Cleveland continues to win. Speaking of Donovan Mitchell's injuries, he also got hurt again and he's out for at least another week. The Heat had 2 game-winning shots this week, one by Bam and the other by Scary Terry. I definitely wouldn't have guessed those two would be hitting game winners for Miami, but hey, it worked out. Inconsistency is the downfall of the Kings because what are they doing some nights? My goodness, they look awful on certain nights. Then they look amazing on other nights. They go from looking like the best offense in the league to being offensively challenged every game. It's just a flip-flop every day. So inconsistent. First round exit. A recurring theme for my Suns is the inability to guard anybody, leading to players going off for insane games on us. Or us having a great game on offense where we put up 129 points, but we give up 140 to a team without their best player. But in more positive news, look at this image from Wednesday night. It really is enough to make a grown man cry. Isaiah Thomas is always a player I will defend and root for, so welcome back, IT. The Mavericks-Nuggets game this week was cinema. It almost made me forget about the Selection Sunday show because of how entertaining it was. I unfortunately missed Kyrie's game winner live, but my goodness, that was some wizardry. And I can't wait to watch him in the postseason, assuming the Mavericks make the playoffs. If you haven't been paying attention to the Clippers, Paul George is finally playing basketball to his full capabilities again after being off for a while due to lingering injuries. I do not trust the Clippers at all in the postseason, but a healthy PG and Kawhi makes me trust them a little bit more, especially when they're playing at their best. I don't really got anything new to say about the Knicks. Kind of a midweek for them, am I right? Zion Williamson is really turning up now as we get closer to the playoffs. He dropped 34-7-4 in a win against the Clippers, 26-10 on the Blazers, and concluded his week with 28-7-4 in Brooklyn. It's kind of funny how when he is doing well, everyone is silent, but when he isn't on the court, everyone is very loud. Crazy. The Bucks are a team made for the playoffs, and the doubters will see that come postseason time, especially since Chris Middleton is back and healthy for the first time in a minute. Matter of fact, when I make my bracket this year, I'm putting the Bucks in the finals. Nothing's going to stop me from doing that. Anthony Edwards might have just given us playoff previews for this year because his performances in Utah and Denver this week without Gobert or Cat were truly special. And that is honestly something you need to think about when you talk about Anthony Edwards now because he has been without his second scoring option and his efficiency hasn't dropped like most players, yet his points have drastically increased. This does not happen often, and if we are being honest, Anthony Edwards is a conference finals appearance away from jumping into the top 5 players discussion. A player that elevates his play when the stakes are higher is the definition of a superstar MVP caliber player. This postseason will change everything if Anthony Edwards brings the Timberwolves to the conference finals. And in case you don't understand, the 2024 season is just getting started for Anthony Edwards. I'm convinced prime Chris Middleton has been resurrected on the Thunder because J-Dub is literally prime Middleton. I took the Celtics' performance against my Suns personally this week, but Derek White had take against the Pistons as he had his first career triple-double as he posted 22, 10, and 10 as he was elite all week and a 4-0 week for the Celtics. Michael Porter Jr. has been so much better this year than he is getting credit for. I will not lie. He has been very consistent, both in terms of being there every game, but also consistently shooting the ball efficiently. Obviously, he has his moments, but someone who plays the way he plays is guaranteed to have moments like that. This week, he was not having those moments, though, and it was truly cool to see. I know all Knicks fans were pissed about me saying they didn't do much this week. Don't worry, it was a joke. Now we have awards. I wanted to save everything for the awards because we give out Player of the Week and Team of the Week, and Jalen Brunson is obviously the Player of the Week. Like, let's just be real here. Jalen Brunson was cooking all week. 45 points in Portland, then 42 on the Kings, and then 34, 5, and 7 in Golden State for him this week. There really is nothing else to say. Team of the week is the Knicks, who went 3-0, all on the road. So yeah, if you're a Knicks fan that left a negative comment on this video or disliked it, now you have a chance to take it back. Despite winning Player of the Week last week, Kevin Durant is this week's Disappointment of the Week. He was not great at all this week and had multiple disappointing games that I personally was not happy about as a Suns fan. The underrated Player of the Week goes to Bobby Portis, who averaged 21 points and 9 rebounds in 3 games this week. Shout out to him. Clutch player goes to none other than Kyrie Irving, and the disappointing Team of the Week was a very difficult decision because all the best teams in the NBA really played well this week, so it's not really a knock on the Clippers, but they had 2 disappointing losses. Therefore, the Clippers are the worst team of the week. That's going to cap this video off. Make sure you like and subscribe, as 98% of you watching are not subscribed. Enjoy March Madness. I know I'll be locked in. So, yeah, y'all have a good one. Bye.